Hello everybody, this is your Module 6 feedback. Your Module 6 feedback, we're going to talk about your grades and what's going to happen in the last module. Here we go! Alright, first of all, Module 6 discussion posts were really great. Some of the best discussion posts I've seen all year. You had some very inventive narratives, and I found it really interesting that most of your time codes lined up with precise formal moments in the music that shows you're really listening well, and there's something that's happening in the music that you're cueing on that's making you pick that as a narrative plot point moment. So even though you may not realize it, you're really becoming sensitive to formal listening in these pieces, especially in these kind of weird, like we said, music is weird. Well, this weird music, you were able to kind of let go of the need for a melody. And by being sensitive to all the other parameters, you were really picking some pretty sophisticated moments within the piece to label as important plot points. So that was very interesting. It was also remarkable how similar the moods were in some of your scenes. A lot of you did Rhapsody in Blue, and you would inevitably pick some kind of speakeasy or ballroom. It was almost always set in New York, kind of a urban setting. So it was really interesting to me that piece led to such same imagery in all of your scenes. So I really enjoyed those posts. Way to go. Awesome job. Now, some of you still need a little bit of work with your propose a plausible composer. And what I need is just a little bit more. Okay? I need more than a sentence. I need more than a sentence that is, I think Mozart wrote this because it sounds classical to me. That's pretty good. Like, I'm happy with that. That's partially meets expectations because it does show that you're becoming accustomed to a style and you're able to recognize it when you hear it. But I do need a little bit more in your descriptions, okay? So you may have a hunch, I think this is Mozart. I'm going to put down, I think this is Mozart. You need to go a step further. Now, if you have a hunch, hunches are great. They're often correct. Support that hunch with descriptions, okay? So if you go, gosh, that sounds like Mozart, your next thing is to think, okay, what are the things about the classical style and about this genre that makes me think Mozart? Okay, well, in classical style, I know there was a renewed emphasis or maybe a new emphasis on a single melody with accompaniment. All right, yes, I hear that homophonic texture in this piece. Make sure you write that down. The texture is homophonic with a clear melody and supportive accompaniment. All right? In the classical period, the harmonies are more what I call polite. They're not quite so lush and emotional. They're more sophisticated and formal harmonies. So you could write that if you think it's Mozart. You can go, okay, it's in classical style. Classical style is mostly simpler, polite harmonies. Do I hear simple, polite harmonies? Why, yes, I do. The harmonies in this piece are simple and polite, emphasizing formal moments. Great. What else is it about Mozart? Okay, in the classical period, the orchestras weren't quite as large yet because we weren't in concert halls yet. We were still in salons, in the aristocracy, in their castles. So the orchestras were a little bit smaller because the spaces were a little bit smaller. Listen to that orchestra. Does it sound a little bit smaller than like the full, lush, romantic orchestra of Smetana or of, what was another, like Wagner and Puccini, the large orchestral forces? Put that in. Say, yeah, I think the orchestra is a little bit smaller, maybe more suited for the salon than for a concert hall. Put that in. Then, even if you just had a hunch that it was Mozart, if you think about the qualities and the characteristics of Mozart, enumerate them and see if you can hear them in the example, then write it down. Okay, say, I think this piece is by Mozart. The orchestral forces are small and more at home in a salon than in a concert hall. The harmonies are a little bit more polite and emphasize the melody in a very homophonic texture. And I know that Mozart wrote piano concertos in this genre as a piano concerto. You put that in there, you have a little bit more descriptives, you have a little bit more support for your accusation. Again, kind of think of this almost as a court case. You, as the prosecutor, need to bring to the court enough evidence to say, therefore, Mozart wrote this piece. If you just go into a courtroom and tell the jury, the defendant committed this crime, and you give no evidence, you're not going to get a conviction. But if you give evidence, if you give supporting details, then you'll get that conviction. Also, look at the language in the suggested, in the prompt. I have some suggested language. Just look at the length of that. Is yours of similar length? Let me see if I can find that. Pause just a moment. All right, look right here. Here's my example in the prompt. Okay, it's, let's see, how many words is that? It's, 100 plus words. It's not a lot. But look at what I put. I think this piece is by Franz Liszt. Franz Liszt is a romantic composer known for piano virtuosity. This piece is for solo piano, instrumentation, and sounds extremely difficult to play, virtuosity. The piano sounds very powerful with extreme fortissimo section. It was probably composed for a modern piano with a steel frame, a development that did not occur until the Romantic period. I'm laying a case for the Romantic period. Music sounds as though it might be programmatic, describing a literary work or poem. Again, that's kind of a subjective thing, but if you think, yeah, this might be Liszt, and you know that he's programmatic, see if you can hear the hint of a programmatic structure at play and put it in there. Here I put a specific timestamp. The section from 30 to 50 sounds like a crushing personal catastrophe, but by 135 there seems to be hints that a triumphant conclusion. Again, that's kind of in this idea of having a programmatic structure. Liszt was well known for being a composer of programmatic music. Not only music does not feature dissonant harmonies of the 1900s. So there is my supporting detail. There is the evidence that will convict, the evidence that supports this accusation. So make sure you are doing that. All right? Okay. E-portfolios. Oy. Okay, here's what I have decided to do. There have been some technical glitches, and I've addressed these in the feedback videos. I've addressed these in the comment sections of your submissions for these ePortfolio artifacts. And still, yet, some people have not submitted a darn thing for ePortfolios. So here's what I've done. I've given everybody 700 points. If you do nothing else, you'll get a score of 1 for that SLO. Now, that's not great. That needs improvement, but it's better than failing. I feel like that is fair. So if you submitted anything at all, any single point additional, maybe you just did the first fetch quest that was worth 80 points, a single point will get you to a 2 partially meets expectations. All right. If you can submit 201 points, that would be all of the fetch quests plus your first artifact. That's at least 201 points. That gets you to a meets expectations, which is a pretty good score. And if you submit 401 points, now all these artifacts are given points based off of what they are. If you go to a formal concert, that's a black tie concert, that's worth 200 points. If you're just noticing something, say you're walking around in the grocery store and the music kind of hits you and you take a quick video, that's jeans and t-shirts. That's being aware of music in the moment during your daily life. If all you want to do is go onto YouTube and find a live performance of one of the pieces of your final exam and do an artifact on that, well, that's a pajama quest. It's worth 100 points. So you could do 3 pajama quests, get you to 300 points, and you'll get a 3 meets expectations. You could do 2 jeans and t-shirts quests. That would get you to 300 points, and that would get you a meets expectations. Same thing, 401 points above the base 700 will get you to exceeds expectations. I know one of you has already done that. Congratulations. Thank you very much for posting your artifacts. So what you need to do if you're going to submit these artifacts, again, because there are technical problems with Portfolium, I don't know what's going on. It's frustrating me, probably as much as it's frustrating you if you've attempted to submit anything. But here's what you need to do. Do all the steps for a quest except creating a Portfolium entry. Okay, so all the steps for a jeans and t-shirt quest, that would be, oh, I'm in the grocery store and I hear that music playing and it's making me feel a little bit bouncy. I whip out my phone, I hit record and record a selfie and said, here I am, I'm shopping in Publix and this tune comes on and it's got a nice thumpy rhythm and it's giving me a little pep and a little pizzazz for my day, and you let the video go for a little bit. Okay, great. You upload that video to YouTube. You write your narrative. I was in Publix and I was listening to the music. And I noticed I was feeling, kind of chipper. And I thought, well, maybe it has to do with the music. The music has an up-tempo dance rhythm to it. I was listening to the lyrics, and the lyrics were very happy and joyful. The instrumentation of this particular piece at Publix was snare drum, drums and bass and guitar And there were a lot of vocals. There was like a lead vocal and several people and background vocals. It reminds me of a time back in high school, something like that. And that would be your narrative. Okay? So what you're going to do, you've uploaded your YouTube video, you've published it. I need the URL for that YouTube. And then I need you to paste your comments in the narrative section. So just so that you know, here's what I am seeing in your quests. Okay, I will erase the name. But you see here it says, Houston, we have a problem. I can't see any of this. I know you've submitted something, but I can't see it. Nothing I can do will help me see this thing. Okay, so you need to help me out so that I can evaluate you. If you don't, I can't evaluate you. I can't give you points. So here's an example of somebody who has done it. Here they went ahead and pasted their YouTube video. I can copy this URL, put it into a window in my browser, and I can see the video. That's great. Then they copied and pasted their video narrative right here in the comments section. I can read that and give it a grade. Great. Okay, that's what I want. Now, again, this rubric. Black Tie Quests feature a live performance snippet captured on video posted to YouTube. Reflection meets passing standards. This is where you have sought out a musical experience by going to a concert. Jeans and T-shirt. Recorded a moment in daily life, like in the grocery store, like I was saying. Pajama Quest, a YouTube video of a live performance of one of the pieces on our final exam listening list. All right, so you can get these done, but you must record the selfie video or share the URL of the live performance, and you must write a narrative. I need those two things to give you any points. Okay, so let's get that done. All right. We are in the home stretch. This is the last week of the course. Remember, submit your learning project twice. We'll submit it once to the assignment and once to the discussion forum so your peers can benefit from your personal learning project. Make sure you take the final style period quiz and the final listening quiz. Now, there are lots of points on the table. Vast improvement is possible on your SLOs 1, 2, and 3 just by doing the final. Okay? You really use your terminology great. You really nail the style period quiz, and you nail the listening quiz with lots of supporting evidence that you can use the nomenclature, and you do great on the propose a plausible composer. You can really improve your points a lot because of the way that the Learning Mastery Gradebook calculates your final SLO grade. Okay? So really buckle down, do a great job describing things in this final test. Give yourself a little extra time. Don't be crunched for time. Make sure you get it in on time. I cannot extend the semester 1 second beyond midnight on Sunday. Okay, so you have to do it. You have to do it before then, and give yourself some time so that you can spend some time and do a really good job. Vast improvement is possible with the ePortfolio. You only need 401 points to go from a 1 to a 4. That's a lot of points on the table. That is 3 jeans and t-shirts quests. That is 5 pajama quests. You can do it, okay? And any points whatsoever will automatically get you to a 2. So just make sure you're trying to do something with the ePortfolio that can really help your grade. And your personal learning project can vastly improve your grade. Make sure you post it in both places where I can see it and give you the grade for that. All right? This is it. Happy studying for the final exam. I look forward to seeing your responses, and I'm really enthused about your ability to propose a plausible composer, and I can't wait to see how you perform on the final. Y'all have a great week. Good luck, and I'll see you soon.